In search engine optimization, there's been a long debate around something called the Read More button and putting content underneath it. Hi everybody, I'm John Lincoln with Ignite Visibility, and today I'm going to answer the question, should you be using the Read More button for SEO? Let's go ahead and dive into it. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so that you can get more videos like this in the future. Okay, so just to be clear, the Read More button is generally a piece of JavaScript. And what happens is people like to have a block of text so that Google can see that and rank the web page well because Google likes content. So the Read More button is usually a piece of JavaScript, the content's underneath it, you click Read More and boom, it drops down, it shows the content. So the question that we're answering here is, should you be doing this for SEO? There's a lot of people who have this in place on category pages on their website, also on product pages of their website. Sometimes it's a Read More button, sometimes it's a Learn More, and often it's just some type of button that has a JavaScript drop down on the page. There's been a lot of debate around this, so let's explore it. The first thing I want you to do is take that text that's underneath the JavaScript and put it into Google search. Do a search for that text, and when you do that, does your web page come up? If it does come up, then Google is probably finding the text. If it doesn't come up, then Google might not be seeing that text at all, which is problematic because it means it has no value. The next thing I want you to do is install the website development toolbar for Chrome. And when you do that, there is a little option on there to turn off JavaScript. If you turn off JavaScript and go to the web page and you don't see the text, then you know that that text isn't being deployed in a way that's going to be easily indexed by Google. That's really important and a red flag. In general, that's a good SEO rule of thumb, everybody. You want to make sure that you have all of your HTML, all of your text, your images visible without it having to be rendered by JavaScript. In many cases, that won't work well for Google because Google doesn't always render JavaScript well. Yes, they are getting better at it, but they're definitely not there yet. So overall, let me just say this. This is an outdated practice, okay? If you want your website to have content that's indexed by Google, if you are putting it underneath one of these buttons and you're doing it in a way that you're hoping that Google sees it and it helps you rank better for SEO, if you're doing this Read More JavaScript as an SEO solve, that is not the right way to do it. In general, it's an older practice. Here's what I would recommend instead. What I would recommend instead is structuring your web page so that the content is not underneath something else, especially if you want Google to see it, and structuring it in a way so that it makes sense for the user. So question, answer, with good modern design layout nowadays, there is no reason you should ever have to use this drop-down feature. Plus, much of the time, it does not get picked up by Google. Final recommendation, the Read More button for SEO is out. Build it into your template, have a good design, and do it in the right way. If you have any questions about this, leave it below. I'd be happy to answer. Give me a like, give me a comment. I appreciate it. I will see you next time. Goodbye.